I have nothing to say for this woman. This woman is possibly the worst mother, or the stupidest mother in the world. I mean, oh my days. It really, this is a story that I read today, and it's just, I'll go into it. I probably won't even finish the whole article because it's quite lengthy and probably absolutely stupid. But so this is the article from the Daily Mail, very good website that I use quite a bit. And anyway, it goes, meet the mother who took her daughter out of top girls public school Rodian because she spent the fees on plastic surgery. What do you say to that? Literally, I probably don't even have to read the whole article to say how stupid this is. So what, because of your own vanity and your own want to look better, you have to basically jeopardize your daughter's life? What did she do? What, tell me, that is not a reason to get plastic surgery? So what, you wanted a facelift so your daughter should suffer? Think about it. She's paying about how much for these things, and yet she probably has a job herself to be able to cover. Let's go into the article. Rachel Namita will never forget the moment she discovered how far her mother was prepared to go in pursuit of her vanity. It was the last day of the summer term, and Rachel was giggling with her friends as they trooped into the hall for the end of year assembly. She happily contemplated the holidays ahead. Rachel barely listened as the headmistress read out the names of the girls who would be leaving them. Then she suddenly heard her own name. Rachel, an industrious and talented student, was quitting Rodin, one of Britain's most exclusive girls' public schools, with its fees of $5,000 a term, and it was the first she knew about it. And this is in Britain as well. Oh man, I live in this country, and now I just believe we're okay, we're not all a bunch of idiots, but geez, are you serious? She couldn't even tell her daughter or ask her. She just said that she just took the £5,000 that she uses, like, for her daughter's school fees, to make sure that she gets a good education, and splashed it out on herself to get herself a facelift or what other form of plastic surgery. What? Oh my god. Then it goes, after 3 happy years she was being moved to a local state school. As much as you can say she's still getting an education, I don't think it justifies it. You can't justify that. I mean, you're giving your daughter private education. Private education is among the best in Britain. Trust me, the difference in test scores between private and state education is a large amount. And to say that because you wanted something, you're going to drop down your daughter's standards just so you can look better for yourself. What does that plastic surgery do for your daughter? Maybe if it was life and death, maybe if you had private medical care bills to pay for, maybe you said, okay, you can't go to private school, you should go to public because I can use that money to pay for some sort of operation that could help save your life. Something like that actually justifies the reason as to why you're going to use money that you pay for your daughter to get a good education and essentially a good job, and use it on yourself. And she goes, this is the girl, she said she was devastated. She loved the school, she was doing well, she had chosen her GCSE subjects and was looking forward to starting the courses. There was no hint that I was going to leave. Mum hadn't mentioned a word. Perhaps she was too ashamed to tell me about the fee. Of course she was ashamed. I'm sorry, but you probably don't realise how angry I am, but to hear something like this is absolutely monumentally stupid. I just can't fathom it. I can't understand how a mother can do this. If there's one thing, like, trust me, the way I've grown up here, I know my mother and father both tried to give me the best they can with the money they have. If they have money that is meant for me, they'll never take it away from me without a justified reason. Like, they'll always give me a reason as to why they're not giving me this money. either it's to pay for something else, maybe it was to pay for something back home. I know there was one time I was supposed to get money, but yet they used it for a plane ticket, maybe because something happened back home. There was some familial incident, and I said, fair enough, I can understand that. That's something that affects us as well, not directly but indirectly still. This does not. What is this? She took money and used it on plastic surgery. How does that benefit you? Plastic surgery, really? And then what? The thing goes on to say, all too many families are facing the same tough decision to take their children out of private schools to save money. And anyone can understand how a parent might find it painful and too embarrassing to admit the truth to their child. But Nylene, 50, had the most unusual reason for this. She spent all her money on cosmetic surgery, an extraordinary $200,000 on 53 separate procedures. Why should I read the rest of this article? Literally, all I had to do was say to you the beginning of the article, and you already know that it's absolutely stupid and you don't need to read more. I should have just said, here's the beginning of the article, go read this and make a comment because it's absolutely stupid, link in the sidebar. I could have ended it there. But no, here I am ranted at the most stupid woman in Britain right now. I am genuinely angry. I know it's hard to believe, but to hear something like this, like, I mean, there are so many reasons, but like, really, why? And look, let's see what else it says. You'd be forgiven for thinking she might feel a flicker of embarrassment and put her vanity before her child's education, but you'd be, how can you not? Oh my gosh. And incredibly, it would seem that telling her daughter in advance simply no, it didn't. You can't say telling your daughter you're not going to private school no more because I need a facelift or whatever, or plastic surgery would slip your mind. Knowing that your daughter knowing that you're removing your daughter from a school does not slip your mind. Knowing that in how long you're going to be going for another plastic surgery appointment does not slip your mind. How could you not tell her? And then she says, I don't remember sitting down with her, said Nylene, but I thought she realized how bad the financial situation was. Rachel had a scholarship which paid half the fees, but I was having to find a top-up fees of roughly £1,000 a month. It was a regular payment, unlike surgery where one year I might have spent £5,000 a year and another nothing. But you see, here's the joke. That private education is something that, if done well and taken seriously, can essentially pay itself back. She spent $200,000, yeah, basically on what? The 53 cosmetics, on 53 separate procedures. That was 53, right? Assuming that basically they said this school was roughly $1,000 a month, and plus top-up fees will save $1,500. Assuming there are 12 years in a month. However, because of holidays added up, you're supposed to have exactly 3 months off. So that's 9 months. So that's £9,000 a year. So for 5 years, if I'm assuming she's going from year 7 to 11, that's £45,000 for 5 years at private school, assuming that the price will be $1,500. Now, 53 cosmetic operations, you spent £200,000, which is £235 difference between what you pay for your child's education and what you paid to make yourself look uglier. And you're trying to say what? You can't justify plastic surgery over education. It doesn't work like that. Where does the idea come from? It's like, oh, here's what she said. It wasn't that I didn't want to commit myself to the fees in case I needed more surgery. It was simply because I no longer had the money. I kind of don't believe that. Look how much money you were spending on that plastic surgery. Think about it, if she had gone through all that private education, maybe gone to a good college, good university, she could have ended up paying it back. I mean, like, the money she could have made from the education could have been so beneficial. But what, you just decided to take that away from her?